Hello everyone, my name is Choi Young-jun. Our group is Kang Min-jae and Jeon Joo. We will talk about suicide, which is a high figure in our country among the world. It's a big problem in the world where one person commits suicide every 40 seconds and 80,000 people commit suicide every year. And Korea is also a serious problem. Suicide is too common in today's society, so they don't even realize that suicide is a serious thing. What is the problem of suicide? First, the etymology of suicide is a combination of two words in Latin, sui and kaido. Suicide is the act of a person taking his or her own life by free will, whether the cause is personal or social. Stress, unemployment, divorce, bankruptcy, and ostracism are the main reasons. There are three types of suicide: selfish suicide, altruistic suicide, and anonymous suicide. Selfish suicide is suicide when individual and society are weak in combination. On the contrary, altruistic suicide is suicide when the social sense of duty is too strong. Anonymous suicide is suicide due to changes in social situation, difference in social environment, or lack of moral control. Of course, humans have free right to their bodies, but I think suicide is an exception. You should not think that suicide is the end when you're dead. There must be someone who suffers from the person, and socially suicide will be a problem. Suicide is also likely to provoke others in a chain of events. It is clear that children will also take their life lightly if suicide occurs easily everywhere. As a result, people tend to see life easily in society. And there is a suicide site. Through meetings of people to commit suicide, they build confidence in each other and share ways of dying. This can lead to copycat suicide. Cannot even agree a little bit about giving a personal life. And I think it's a waste of time to thinking about dying instead of living. There are also personal problems with the growing number of people who are not controlling their mind and are violent and hot-blooded. But there are also social problems such as suicide site and celebrate suicide report.
Hello, I am Kang Min-jae. Earlier, we looked at the problem of our suicide. From now on, let's find out now how to prevent suicide. For 13 years, the government has been making great efforts to get rid of stigma of being the number one suicide rate among OECD members. An average of 36 suicides occur a day in Korea. The government is trying to reduce the number to 17. What are precautions and what efforts should we make? First, it's obvious, but first of all, small consideration and attention from people around you are important. Small consideration and attention can give them great comfort and stability. If you have someone who is having a hard time, you can actively help them. It will be of great help to them. Also, regular attendance at a mental hospital is a preventive measure without being ashamed of going to mental hospital. because you can't give up your life just because you are ashamed of going to hospital. Secondly, we should try to educate our children's personality at home and in school from an early age. People are most affected by their living environment. Therefore, we should prevent it by educating from an early age. Develop understanding, tolerance, and self-control so that the child can succeed in interpersonal relationships. Third, we need to stop suicide sites. The state should strongly legislate and use force to stop these sites. Even young children, men and women of all ages enter into curiosity and commit suicide impulsively. I think the state needs to stop these sites that are not helpful to anyone. Fourth, don't report celebrity suicide on TV. Celebrities are also public figures and they need to be informed of their deaths. But I don't think there's a need for a lot of broadcast coverage for days or days. Copycat murders and occur and bad things such as deformation of the disease and can happen. Fifth, we should prevent it nationally through public service advertisements or other suicide prevention events. We would better do something than not say it doesn't help. According to a survey conducted by the Ministry of Health and Welfare in Korea, 8 out of 10 people are in need of national intervention in suicide. People need national intervention in suicide. I hear the states must provide a lot of help, such as advertising and events.
Hello, I'm Jia. So far, we've learned about suicide prevention measures. From now on, I will show you other countries' preventive measures against suicide. As you know, North Europe is a real welfare country. Therefore, the suicide rate is lower. But I'm sure suicide will happen there too. I'd like to talk about preventive measures in North Europe. What precautions do the countries have? And what else should we follow? The first country is Denmark. Denmark, the number one welfare state, has the lowest suicide rate among OECD countries. In Korea, 25 people commit suicide per 100,000 people, but Denmark has a very low figure of 9. The reason is that more than 20 national suicide clinics across Denmark have played a major role in lowering the suicide rate. Denmark's Hygge Life is also of great help. Hygge refers to a style that values the time spent with loved ones and lives a simple and leisurely life. The second country is Finland. Finland had a high suicide rate among OECD members until the late 1980s. As a result, the situation changed after the government established suicide prevention measures and analyzed the process of suicide for 6 years. The long-term interest, investment, and active preventive efforts have resulted in a decrease in the suicide rate. But gas support is also steadily increasing. The suicide rate has dropped sharply, spending about 1.13 trillion on mental health areas to prevent suicide. The last country is Sweden. Sweden has expanded welfare for lower-income families, climbed down on suicide risk group drinking, gun control, and drug sales. That is, it prevents suicide by blocking an environment that can easily kill yourself. It provides social education so that all members of society can acquire medical, psychological, and mental knowledge. Anyone who is exposed to suicide can help. They also prepare countermeasures by analyzing the causes and consequences of suicide. In this way, our government should take the lead in lowering the suicide rate and making Korea a country where everyone lives happily. If you reverse suicide in Korea, it means live. So you can stop the urge to kill yourself by thinking about it again. This is the end of our speech. Thank you for listening.